Balanced news in high definition. The Fox 19 Morning News.
Well, welcome back. They provide books and computers and scholarships. The support for students in Guatemala. It's amazing. They are Cooperative for Education. It's based here in Cincinnati, and they're hosting Fall Fiesta. It's at Paul Brown Stadium tomorrow. Joining me this morning is Dhani Jones. You know him, and Joe Berninger. Nice to see you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy.
Okay, well, let's talk about this. We love when you come. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, no, this is great. So why Guatemala?
Well, Guatemala, a lot of people don't know, but it's the most illiterate country in all of the Americas. And it's a place where you go and about half the people cannot read or write. Also, there's a really strong Cincinnati connection. We have a Hispanic population here in the city, and the majority of that Hispanic population are people that come from Guatemala.
It's amazing when you look at the pictures. I think anytime you see pictures of little ones, right, Dhani? I mean, you're drawn to, and it seems so unfair that kids, not only in our city, across our country, but other countries as well, don't get the opportunity to read a book or to play on a computer or do something to better their education. So it's amazing what you guys are doing tomorrow, this weekend, to bring awareness and to also, you know, raise funds and do some good for those kids in Guatemala.
And I think that's the most important part. You know, we have so much, and it's important that we spend time and that we give back. And I think you know, the program that they have in Guatemala is absolutely fantastic. And be able to link Cincinnati to a global consciousness and to a global literacy program is amazing. And to be able to take the bow ties and be able to raise awareness, to be able to raise capital. And oh, by the way, you know, it's a sustainable organization. There's so many different nonprofits that are out there that are always constantly raising more and more dollars and cents, but they actually involve the students, they actually involve the population themselves, so they're able to contribute to themselves.
And let's talk a little bit more about that, Joe, how you integrate the people of Cincinnati there in Guatemala.
Well, twice a year we take down groups from Cincinnati to our projects in Guatemala to deliver books, to help plug in computers, inaugurate computer labs, to meet with and work with our scholarship students. So it is the best way in the world to spend a week in the middle of February to come down with us to Guatemala and be in that warm weather.
I always say it's a life-changing experience, isn't it? When you remove yourself from the comforts of life that we enjoy here, we are all so blessed, right? And you go somewhere else where there's less fortunate, and especially when you see the kids. So I think that's great that you do that. So let's talk about this weekend. Let's talk about bow ties and what you guys are doing.
Well, at the Fall Fiesta, we have the bow ties, and we'll be rocking them, and we'll be selling them, and we'll be raising awareness. And I think that's the most important thing, you know, for everybody to show up, have fun, have a great time, but most importantly, think about the kids in need, think about Guatemala, think about how much awareness we need to bring as people and as a community.
Yeah, I think it's really great. So it's tomorrow. It starts at 6 o'clock. Joe, do folks need tickets? Can they just show up? How's this going to work?
They can show up at the door, or they can go to our website at cooperativeforeducation.org. But they can just walk right in. And at the door, Dhani will be greeting them.
Wow.
Tying their bow tie.
So if you're there, yeah, I'm going to be talking
and, you know,
to
I was just
Bring
sharing
a college shirt.
Well, yeah, right. I was just sharing with Dhani that we actually had a segment on a couple of days ago on the Extra on how to tie a bow tie, because they are all the rage. But not too many people know how to do that.
Well, you know, you should have just talked to me. You should have just had
You're the
me.
man.
You know, it's not that difficult. You know, you just see, look. We could just do
Now tell me if this is true.
Quick.
I've heard it's like tying a shoe, but a little more difficult because you're not looking down on your shoe.
Well,
is
yeah,
that
you have to just think about, you know, you already tied the lace together, and you just kind of fold up, cross over, and kind of pinch it together. And there's that little spot right back there that most people don't see.
You make that look way too easy.
And then you just get it.
That's nice.
And look, the books are flying.
Yeah, can I tell you a little bit about this bow tie?
Please.
We were so lucky to be chosen to have Dhani custom design a bow tie for this cause.
Right.
And you have the yellow background, and that little thing that you see, it looks like a bird, but it's actually, as Dhani said, it's a book.
I love that.
And it's flying down into the hands of the poor illiterate children in Guatemala.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, the way we look at BowTie Cause is that all of our bow ties essentially are this amazing canvas that we can tell these stories. And you know, people will tell you all the time, you always want to sit next to the person that has the best story. You always want to spend time with the person that has the best story. And with BowTie Cause, we hope to partner with organizations that that are broadcasting and that are paying attention and acknowledging those that need their story to be told.
Yeah, I love that.
And we love to collaborate in a positive way, and so we're working together, and we're tremendously excited.
I love that. That's great. Thank you very much. It's tomorrow evening. It starts at 6, and I always say if you can't go, you can always donate. Never turn donations away, but hopefully you can go. The weather's going to be beautiful. Paul Brown Stadium tomorrow evening at 6. Good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.